Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the ugliest woman in the world.
I love you, Jonah.
Love is a luxury that people like us can ill afford.
You lie.
Do I? And what would the people say? A man like me with a beast like you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gabirelle Rosson. Hello, hello. Thank you.
Hi.
Please come join me.
Okay.
So I want to start off on a funny note. Quiet seed bearer is now my favorite way to tell someone to shut up. That's awesome.
Yes.
But getting into it more seriously, I had the luxury of speaking with you about this project before it premiered here today, and I think that it would benefit. Please tell us the true story for anybody that doesn't know. It's fascinating.
Sure. So, well, actually, I have to shout out all the cast, crew, producers, everyone, executive producers, everyone that helped make Le Monstro possible. Thank you. We could not have made that without you. So the true story that inspired this film is about Julia Pastrana, the Victorian ape woman. So if you've ever heard of a freak show, she's pretty much the mother of freak shows, because she was traveling the country, the world actually. As the bearded woman, she was billed as the ugliest woman in the world, and her husband/manager exploited her to the fullest. Even after she died, he had her body taxidermied/embalmed and toured her around, and the body of their dead child. So she died after complications of childbirth to their son. So he was making money off of her even unto death. So, yeah.
And you came across that story.
Great guy.
Yeah, great guy.
Great guy.
Yeah. And you heard about this story, and you had to make it. You had to make a version of it.
Well, so for everyone who knows me or who doesn't know me, I love period pieces. I don't have a flying car or time travel or anything like that, so that's how I go back into the past and live my best life, is exploring the past through films. And I came across the story and I tucked it away because I couldn't afford it. Like Chris, I'm also broke. And so I saved it for a rainy day, and then I went through sort of this quasi breakup. We weren't really a thing, but it was a thing, and it hurt me. Let's keep doing air quotes. And I was like, I have to make this film and I have to play this part.
I want to compliment you to the most extreme, because this time around watching it, something that I was really struck with was kind of the juxtaposition you have between his character, who on the outside is very physically beautiful.
Exactly.
And something you do very well with the main character is, even though she's technically not physically beautiful, the way that she speaks is so poetic. The way that she dances,
right.
The way that she sings. I think that was just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Can you talk about the actual production of it, please? How long did it take to film? Where, what was it like working at that auditorium?
Sure, and if any of you watch that and are thinking about what is beauty, then good, we achieved our purpose, because that's exactly what we wanted to do. We wanted to make people think like, yeah, maybe she's ugly on the outside, but she can also sing, and she's also paying all the bills. So, you know, there's something to be said for internal beauty, and that's what we wanted to highlight with this film. And, you know, we shot it over 2 days. One of the earliest pieces of advice I ever got when I started my filmmaking career was surround myself with talent. And so I immediately went to Ben Heald, who's here today. And I've always wanted to work with him. And so I was like, Ben, do you want to make this film? And he liked it, which was great, and was willing to work with me on it. And you know, we shot the whole thing in 1 day, but we had a half-day prep the night before. So, I mean, it was a short script. It was really short. So.
Well, it looks beautiful.
Reasonable.
I'll give a shout out to Ben as
Thank
well.
you.
That the cinematography was amazing, dude. Wherever you are, it was great. And I would also like to call attention to the score. From my understanding from the credits, it's all original. Yes, no? Where are we
Soirée
at?
en Mer is the opera I sang. That's from Cezanne. I think I'm saying that correctly. And it was arranged by Ian Roshkin, who then also wrote original accompaniment for the score. So, you know, I've been working with Ian since the 90s. I'm aging myself. I'm dating myself. It's fine. We can tell by the wrinkles I'm old. But, you know, we've been working together a really long time, so I trust him. And I basically said, here's the script. What do you think? And he was actually really helpful in a couple of ways. I wanted music during her monologue. I thought that was a great moment for music, and he was like, no, let's have no music there. And you know, I deferred to him because I trust his brilliance, and I do think it worked. And then also with the color and the black and white, it was always a vision to have playing with the colors of this film, because I've never made anything in black and white until this. And I originally was going to do the flashback in black and white, and he said, no, switch it, do the flashback in color. And I said, that makes so much sense, because, you know, it's Wizard of Oz vibes, right? Like you're in your happy place, so that should be in color. Is kind of how I thought of it.
Definitely, definitely. And last question I want to ask you is, you edited as well. What was that process like? Usually
Horrible.
Well, the reason I ask is because, you know, as a lot of filmmakers out here know, there can be kind of two camps. You know,
Right.
Some people like to have an editor and they like to look at it objectively, and then some people find themselves wanting to be really involved in the edit because it's, you know, an extension of themselves. So, what was the process like for you?
Well, I am a control freak, so it was like easy for me to take on that role of editing, but it was really literally to cut down costs. You know, I know how to edit. But then as I got in there and realized that the film was like a puzzle piece, I was like, nobody else could have edited it. So, I mean, I think, you know, for those of us who edit, of course, we're going to save $1 and we're just going to edit it ourselves. And that was the initial approach. But in the end, I realized that it was a damn good thing I edited it, because I would have driven any editor nuts.
Sure.
I would have been harassing him with notes constantly.
Well, I'm glad that this story exists. I'm glad that you produced it. I'm glad that your team helped you make it. It was a really lovely film, and I think we all owe Gabby a debt.
Stop. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you.